Man, I thought in the second half, we played to what our identity is. You know, we always talk about playing physical. Our guys did a heck of a job defensively of trying to be physical. We always talk about playing fast. 22 fast break points for the game. That was right up our alley. And then we talk about playing together. And we were on a string defensively, but just as importantly offensively. I thought this was one of our best games of doing what we know how to do, which is to touch the paint and to spray it, or just to move the ball ahead, especially versus teams that are in a heavy shift. So our ability to do those things tonight played right into what our identity is, and it was good to get a win of this magnitude playing somewhat how we're capable of playing. The two things we addressed at halftime, they were kicking our behinds on the offensive glass. They had 14 offensive rebounds in the first half. We addressed it. Our guys did a lot better job in the second half. They got 5 offensive rebounds in the second half. And then we also talked about our turnovers. We had 11 turnovers for 19 points. A lot of those were unforced in that first half, and in the second half we could still do better, but in the second half we had 6 turnovers for 10 points. So just a heck of a game by our guys in the second half of adjusting to the things we needed to take care of from the first half. I got to give a shout out to Keegan. He was our defense player of the game. We had a lot of very good defensive performances. You're not going to stop Book. You just want to try to make him work. And Keon tried his best. Keegan tried his best to make him work, and our team was there to help support him. So a heck of a job by him throughout the course of the game. And then the last unit that came on the floor, they were big time. You're up 19, 20, whatever we're up, and our guys came out and they tried to execute the right way. Not only offensively, but defensively too. They were flying around. They kept our identity by trying to play physical, and they kept sharing the ball. So heck of a job by the young group that came on the floor the last 3 or so minutes of the game.
Mike, you guys look like a different team when the 3 ball's going down. How good was it to see both Keegan and Trey sort of find the rhythm tonight and have some balls going?
It was great, I truly believe we have a lot of good shooters on this team. And when we're open, we got to keep taking them. But also, Jamie, when we touch that paint and you feel 2, even if the second one doesn't commit to you, if you feel the second defender, somebody's open. So you got to play off of 2 feet. You got to spray the basketball. And I thought our guys did a good job of that. And we got a lot of shots that resulted in, set shots that you practice a lot of, especially in that second half tonight, because our guys with the paint, played off of 2 feet, and sprayed it when they felt that second defender was coming. So it does not surprise me at all. Like I said before the game, that we knocked down shots. I don't want to change anything. I don't want to panic because we got great shooters, and it's just up to our guys to knock them down, but also for the delivery to be on time and on target the right way.
Coach Brown, go back to the rebounding. Yes, they did have 14 offensive rebounds in the first half, Phoenix that is. But in the second half, what was addressed? Because the Suns only managed to get 12 rebounds in the second half.
Yeah, well, we talked about just putting a body on somebody, and especially when they shot threes. In the first half, they shot a lot of threes, Tony, and when that ball went up from the 3-point line, everybody turned and walked towards the basket, and the ball would hit the rim and bounce over our heads, and they were crashing. Josh Okogie had 5 offensive rebounds in the first half alone because we didn't take care of the long shots. Anytime you shoot a long shot, it's going to probably be a long rebound. So if somebody shoots a long shot, instead of turning and going to the glass, I got to turn and go find the body and go to the body, because when it hits the rim, it's going to bounce long, and now I'm there to get it. And we didn't do a good job of that, especially in the first half. Our guys did a better job of it in the second half, and that's what limited them to the offensive rebounds of only getting 5 in the second half.
Hey, Mike. I know Fox has grown significantly as a volume three-point shooter. Tonight, it seemed like he was on a mission to get to the paint, to get to the rim. He looked like his old self, really, from a couple of years ago with how quick he was. Was that just like a matchup thing and him recognizing the way Phoenix was playing him and taking advantage of that? Or is this what you expect or need or want from Fox on a nightly basis?
No, this is what we need from Fox. He's the fastest guy in the league. He's the best guard finisher in the league. But our spacing has to be right, and our spacing was pretty good tonight, Matty. I mean, when it's there for him, he'll get downhill. And it's up to us to make sure that that happens, and then it's up to him to make sure he stays aggressive, getting into that paint where he is deadly.
Mike, have you gotten to check in with DeMar since he exited again?
I have not, no.
Do you know, like, did it just like flare up? Do you know, like, his back tightness? Did it just kind of pop
I
up?
don't, what do you? Yeah, I haven't even spoken to anybody. I was just trying to figure out who was gonna start for him and how we were gonna rotate bodies.
Fair.
I guess to that point, two for me, to how difficult was that, having to make that last second? What did you think of that lineup going out?
It was okay. I think we started off a little slow, and then we inserted Trey, and I thought Trey gave us a nice little lift. Again, when you miss a guy like Malik, when you miss a guy like DeMar, it's going to have to be by committee, and tonight it was by committee. J-Mac had a whale of a game for us. He came off the bench, and he was big for us. And so we're going to have to get different production from different guys on a nightly basis until we're whole again.
And then obviously Huerter kind of filled the stat sheet for you, doing it on both ends. Just
Yeah.
what did you see out of him tonight?
Oh, you're exactly right. He used his length, his toughness, his IQ on both ends of the floor. I mean, he was very, very quick with the basketball, making decisions. He was there ready to help at the right times defensively. I think he had 5 or 6 deflections. I don't know how many. He could have easily gotten, defensive player of the game. But he had a big time game for us on both ends, like you said. And again, it's going to be by committee, and so we're going to need him to step up, just like everybody else, just to give us a little bit more.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Who was defensive player of the game?
Keegan.
Keegan, thank you.
We're going to go ahead and open the locker.